So here we have another skewed lines question, and this question is slightly different to the shortest distance between them, because this time we're asked about the shortest horizontal distance between the skewed lines. So with skew lines, what we're going to do as usual is create one of the lines parallel to the other line, and we're going to do that by creating a plane. So the plane that we're going to create is going to have one line parallel to the other skew line. So in this case, I've drawn a line which is parallel to CD, and I've drawn it from B. So I'm going to label that point E. So I'm going to do the exact same thing in plan. I'm going to find E. So if I've gone parallel to CD in the elevation, I'm going to go parallel from CD in the plan, and that is also going to be drawn from B. So there I found point E again, and E joins back to A. So that plane now is parallel to CD, both in the elevation and in the plan. So one of the lines in this plane, line AE, is a horizontal line in the elevation, which means that line AE is going to be a true length in plan. So with any true length, if I look in along it, so that is my viewing point, I will be finding the line AE as a point view. So if I look along the line now AE, it means that my XY line is going to be perpendicular to the line AE. So here I'm setting up a perpendicular line, and this is going to be X1, Y1 line, and I'm going to project all of the points A, B, C, D and E perpendicular to the X1, Y1 line. And with that, I'm going to take my heights from the elevation, because if I view from the plan, it means I'm going to view a new elevation, so the heights in the elevation are new. So referring back to what the question has asked us, it has asked us about the shortest horizontal distance. So a useful tip to remember is when we're dealing with the shortest horizontal distance to think of a capital H, where we have a vertical and we have a horizontal line which are perpendicular to each other. Where I'm going to use that perpendicular line is I'm going to set up a X2, Y2 line, and that is going to be perpendicular to the X1, Y1 line. So this is where I'm going to view in from. So if I'm viewing in parallel to the X1, Y1 line, it's going to mean that the X2, Y2 line is perpendicular to the X1, Y1 line. So here I am setting up the X2, Y2 line, and as always I'm going to project all of the points A, B, C and D perpendicular to the X2, Y2 line. So I'm going to find my distances by stepping back two views and by stepping back one X1, Y1 line. Another thing just to remember is that the point of my compass will always be on a XY line. So by transferring all of these distances back, I should find where the skewed lines are going to cross, which is going to give me the shortest horizontal distance. So with the shortest horizontal distance, I'm going to transfer it back to each of the views. Again, it's going to be transferred perpendicular to the XY line. Again, once we get up to our first view, which is going to be our elevation, we should find it is a parallel line with the ground line, which means that it is correct because it is a horizontal line. And that's where we find the shortest horizontal distance between skewed lines. So you'll see it's very similar to the setup for the shortest distance between skewed lines. The only difference and the only part where it varies is where the x2, y2 line goes. So that useful tip to remember is using a capital H.